Hey guys, Tony Mitra, 9th of July, Delta BC, Canada. This is my today's live video and an update. They are having, there's a group on Facebook called A Celebration of Freedoms and Rights. It's a pan-Canada group, and they are launching a kind of a campaign within a campaign. Part of the celebration is to preserve what they are celebrating, which is freedoms and rights. And freedoms and rights in Canada are in jeopardy. We are losing freedoms and rights at a breakneck speed. I think most of you who follow that group know about it already. Now, one of the campaign within a campaign is to educate people and protest against any mandatory putting on of masks, indoor, outdoor, everywhere. This is for healthy people. Putting on mask is unnecessary, is unhealthy, and just a request from people coming from India and others to invite me to their live. I don't have time, so just listen to me if you are interested, but don't invite me too many places. Let me finish my piece and let me say what I came to say. And that is, there is a campaign within a campaign by Celebration of Freedoms and Rights to highlight the issue of mask wearing. Basically, putting masks on healthy people is unscientific, unnecessary, unhealthy, and it is programmed for a devious, it's a program of a devious kind, and the real purpose of it for healthy people to be shown willing to wear a mask everywhere is to condition you psychologically to always obey higher orders without thinking. This has been practiced successfully on certain species of animals, such as pet dogs. Dogs are trained, expensive, well-bred dogs that are popular as pets are trained to be obedient. They are trained from childhood to follow their masters. When they say sit, they sit down. When they say stand up, go here, go there, eat, don't eat. All these things are taught so that the dogs obey implicitly without asking, automatically. And those dogs that follow these orders are considered pet worthy. They fetch a high price. And those that cannot be trained, those that are you can say think outside the box, those dogs that think for themselves instead of just follow orders, and sometimes they will bark at you because they don't like you or they suspect your intentions are not good and so on. Those dogs are recalcitrant, they fetch a lower price. Sometimes they are put to death, put to sleep, because they attack others, intruders, or they growl at people who do not treat them well, and so on. So these things have been tried for centuries successfully on some animals. This time it is being tried globally on a permanent basis on all living humans. You are being trained to obey implicitly without question, and this is one of the tests. Ultimately, just like hybrid dogs, pet dogs, those who are obedient, those who follow orders, those who don't question, they will probably be allowed to live on and pass their genes to the next generation and next generation, so that a class of humans comprising of 99% of those that survive this, those that live through, 99% of them will be the obedient class, and there will be this 1% who don't have to follow all this. They're the master class. So this experiment, putting on a mask, is part of that. It has nothing at all to do with your health. If you are healthy, you need to breathe clean air with a lot of oxygen. You do not need to breathe your own exhaust with reduced oxygen and more carbon dioxide. Even a man with a pea for a brain, even a sand grain for a brain can understand this one. No healthy people are required to be locked up. No healthy people should be required to breathe anything but clean air. And that too, hopefully air outside which is not already polluted by all kinds of shit. This is common sense. It doesn't need scientists to tell you. If you do not believe that and you believe the TV that you are already halfway through to becoming a pet dog. A very obedient, right kind of person who should be allowed to, reproduce and hopefully start bringing up children who are genetically modified through breeding to be obedient. That is what is going on. Now, this group called Celebration of Freedoms and Rights, who are celebrating freedoms and rights and at the same time trying to preserve freedoms and rights, are organizing an event on the 19th of July, Sunday, across Canada, multiple cities. It's a pan-Canada group to resist mandatory use of masks by everybody. They're trying to resist, they're trying to educate, they're trying to protest, they're going to march through the main streets of downtown Vancouver as well as many, many other towns of Canada. 19th of July, around noontime, the timings will be disclosed by everybody in Victoria, Vancouver, Toronto, and elsewhere. So you can check up on that. I am making this announcement on live video. I am not a founder or a leader or a serious member of any of these groups, but I like them. I join them. I don't have any problem. What they do is right. So the leader of the Vancouver chapter of this group is Ryan Kulbaba. Ryan is a friend of mine, and although they have been protesting every Saturday at Surrey Guildford Mall area in British Columbia, on the 19th of July they are going downtown Vancouver, starting from, say, Canada Place, one of the most iconic places in Canada, and then marching there. The routes they're still working out. I went with them yesterday to map out the route and all that. There are some opinions on whether it should be this way or that way, whether this one is too long for elder generation, this is too short, all these things. So you will hear from them eventually when the final route is chalked out, and there'll be map and all that. But as far as I know, most likely it will start from Canada Place. It might start from somewhere else also, but Canada Place is one of the top choices after we scouted the place around. So now, what I am appealing to you all, if you agree that common sense tells you should breathe clean air and not dirty air, we were not evolved to breathe dirty air. Dirty air is the first step towards all kinds of illnesses and shortness of breath, and also enfeebling ourselves. It's not the good thing to do for you to continuously inhale your own exhaust. It is not a good thing. And we are being conditioned, like I said, to start creating the next generation of obedient humans who will follow orders without thinking. That is the plan. And once you have an obedient dog, you can get it to do many things for you. Be a guard dog, be this dog, that dog, be good with the children, and stay alone at home and protect, or be a worker dog, many things. Obedient donkey, obedient horse, obedient anything is a good tool, good animal to have for the master. So you are being programmed to be a good human to be owned by the master class. Yeah, I'm not joking. I am not joking. This is what mask is, just one of them. There'll be many, many, many more. You will be microchipped, you will be tracked, and where you go, don't go, depends on what masters tell you where you should go and don't go. And if you don't follow order, they can find out and then they can penalize you. So, come Sunday, I would have liked 400-500 people, maybe 1,000 people maybe more than that, to go downtown and protest. Protest loudly. It will be legal protest. It's not illegal. Police will be escorting us to protect us. The routes will be mapped out and told to them. All that is there. You're not doing an unlawful protest. It is still lawful. How long it will remain lawful, it remains to be seen. But up to now, it is still lawful in Canada to protest the government's arbitrary actions. It is still lawful. Hear me again. It is still lawful. Okay? So now, I would like hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands to attend. But me wanting something and seeing that happen is two different things. So here is what I'm proposing, and I should be sharing this one on the group page of Celebration of Freedoms and Rights, but I didn't because last time I went live on that, the video disappeared. I didn't know how to control it and I couldn't find it later on. So I decided to do it on my own wall, and maybe I will share it or maybe somebody else will share it and so on. But here is what I'm saying. We need to plead, help, request everybody we know and people we don't know to come and join that march. It is important for the future of our gene pool. Either we are going to become part of a vanishing tribe or a tribe that is modified, psychologically modified to produce genetically obedient humans for the master class, or we shall protest it. I would rather be a recalcitrant Indian or human that thinks outside the box and protest what deserves to be protested, rather than say yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir. So, how can we get the numbers out? Here is what I believe: charity begins at home. So, those people all the way from, let's say, Vancouver Island in this side and all the way to the Rocky Mountains on the other side, anybody from the US border south of us all the way to Yukon, anybody who wants to come and protest and don't have a place to stay, they can come, but staying in hotel is expensive. We need to be able, we living here need to be able to offer billeting. And since charity, I said charity begins at home, I am offering a like-minded freedom fighter, preferably if I know them, or even if I don't know them and we can become friendly, I am offering one spare bedroom with one bed for, a couple or something, 2, 3 people that can accommodate in a bed. It's a queen bed, it's not extremely large. So 2 people is comfortable. I may not be able to cook food for them, but because we are on that particular day, we are also thinking of eating outside rather than having the hassle of running a kitchen. We don't have many people at home to cook. So they might have to grab a bite from, one of the sandwich places or Subway or someplace or the other. But they can stay at night and they will not have to pay for hotel bill for one night. That night, if they want to come previous night and then stay and go away that evening, that's fine. I think it's maybe better. They come in the morning because the march starts at noon or after that. And by the time it ends, it is pretty late evening, maybe 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. They might be meeting after that. They might be, brainstorming and this and that. So it might be more convenient to stay back Sunday night and then go back next day morning. Either way, I'm willing to do my bit. I hope that many others will also pull in their friends. Hey, come over here. Somebody who lives in Kelowna or Victoria or, I don't know, Prince Rupert or somewhere. Come over and say, okay, you can, I don't have a spare bed. I have a couch. If you are willing to rough it out over there, or I have nice carpeted floor and we have some mattresses and blanket and everything. We'll have music and we'll have fun. And we'll have a can of, stack of beer and stuff, and let's. So I would like you all to do your best, your better than your best, to get a large number of people to come to downtown Vancouver and join that protest march. Mind it, I'm not saying it because it is my march. It is not my march. A Celebration of Freedoms and Rights is not my group. The leader is not myself, it is Ryan. But this is one good step at fighting back against becoming pet dogs for the master class. Anybody who says masks should be mandatory needs to be tried, needs to be hung from the nearest lamppost. I mean, what nonsense that healthy people should be wearing a mask and for forever they should be breathing dirty air. This is height of, I mean, this is beyond offensive, beyond offensive. And those of you that think I, a healthy person, should be wearing mask to protect, don't deserve protection. You are already a pet dog. Why don't you put on a collar and put the name of Bill Gates or whoever else you're obedient to? Write down, I am a property of Bill Gates, and go around. You're free to go around like that. Bloody hell. So here is my short rant. I know it's a rant. It's a short rant. Offer your home billeting to your friends, your relatives, the people you know that would like to come but they cannot afford a hotel or something. Offer them your bed, offer them your couch, offer them your floor, offer them your heart, and say, spend the night with us and join the march against this goddamn masking. I think the name of the event is not Protest Mask, but it's called Unmasking the Mask. You can go to Ryan's Kulbaba's their Facebook page called Celebration of Freedoms and Rights. The same page is also there in other towns, like I said, maybe in Victoria and in Toronto or Ottawa and other towns in Canada. But Vancouver is a big city, one of the biggest cities next to Toronto. It needs to have a huge crowd. I feel disgusted that Antifa, being funded by, I don't know, George Soros or some crook, which tries to disrupt all protest marches aimed at loss of our freedom by crowding around there and distracting people and starting some cockamamie story about, Black Lives Matter or something like that, as if some other life doesn't matter, as if my life doesn't matter, as if your life doesn't matter, only Black Lives Matter and nobody else. It's all nonsense. We have a serious crisis at our home, in our land and across every country, where all lives, all, black, white, yellow, polka dotted, zebra stripe, all lives are being subjugated and turned into pet dogs. And you are talking about Black Lives Matter like a bunch of bloody monkeys. So how is that possible? It's because they're being paid. I am not paid. I don't work for Ryan. I don't work for a celebration. I have a thinking brain and I can see the planet going down the blinking tube. I am doing all I can. I am willing to be jailed. I'm willing to be shot dead. Why? Because I'd rather die a free man on my feet than live like a worm crawling on somebody else's at somebody else's feet. That's how I am. I'm 70 years old and damned if I'm going to be a slave for somebody from now on. Damned. Rather die happily. What is so, death is inevitable. Everybody that is born dies. You can't avoid it. And this is as good a time and place to die as any. Instead of, staying in an emergency with a thing on and having a heart failure 5 years or 10 years or 20 years down the line, and then living on in a TV screen showing your pulses going down, going up, everybody doing this. Why? Die like that on your like a free man. Die like a man, not like a worm. So this is what I appeal to you guys. Please do your very best. The phone is next to you. Pick up your phone and ask your friends and people you know that live a little further away who share your views and say, hey, you want to come and protest? My home is there for you to share for the night. I know that you cannot go and come back the same day, so therefore you need to spend a night, and we will have fun and we will join forces. If you need some other kind of help, you are on a wheelchair and you want somebody to push the wheelchair around, offer that help. Somebody who is young, strong, this is you want to exercise, you want to show off how strong you are, say, you bring your wheelchair or I will take my van and bring you with the wheelchair, and I will push you through the roads all the way through so that you too can join hands and say, I don't want to be a pet dog, either of Trudeau or of John Horgan or of Bill Gates or of Fauci or of, whatever, Dr. Tam or Bonnie Henry, anybody. I am a free human being. I would rather die a free human being. I am not going to wear a mask unless I am sick. This is what we need. If you are unable to walk and you would rather sit somewhere, you still come. We will park you at a bench, and when we come back, you can sit there with pride, with some sign on your chest, and we will pick you back again on the way back and take you home. Anything that requires people to come, please do, and let us help. Those who are able to help, please help. I mean, this is the time you need to help like-minded people and get a huge showing in Vancouver. I don't know what the rest of the population is doing in the rest of the planet. I don't think this group belongs outside of Canada, so I personally don't think, although I could be wrong, that there will be a global march against masking on that particular day. I think it's a brainstorm that came from Canada, but then I can be wrong. The things are happening so fast. The situation is so much in a flux. Every hour things change, so I really don't know. And neither do I have the time to catch up with what's happening in neighboring USA or across the pond in UK or in Asia or in Africa or Middle East and all that. I don't have time. I'm going nuts just dealing with Canada itself. And we need to fight back. We absolutely, just remember, you're not breaking any law. You are protesting lawfully because you believe healthy people should not be choked. It is same as keeping you choked here a little bit. You breathe, but only a little bit, enough to keep you alive. What the hell is this? So friends, that's my first appeal. Please make 19th of July Unmasking the Mask event a huge show so that more people who are sitting on the fence, who instinctively know that healthy people should not be masked, those that instinctively know will come out, because if so many people are protesting, then maybe, why shouldn't I join them? That's how people are influenced by others, especially by show of strength. That's the unfortunate fact. The opposition who wants to keep you under their boots are showing the show of strength, because we who have the numbers, most of us have lost our thinking ability or our spine, or we have let fear be the biggest virus of us all. We are afraid. What the heck should we be afraid? You talk about, Ryan's friend, Marius, who goes by the name of Cow Faith. He almost lost his job, because he's also from Surrey, from this area, and he gave us the ride in his car yesterday to myself and Ryan to go downtown and check out the routes and all that. Now, he nearly lost his job because the employer insisted that he must wear a mask, and he refused. He's saying, you cannot insist, because I know the law. It's a recommendation. It's not a law. It's not mandatory. And you force me to do something which is a recommendation and depends on my opinion and not mandatory by law, I will protest. And if you fire me, I will fight you in court for wrongful. They backed off. This is something that, somebody with a heart, he was willing to risk his life, not just for himself, for Canada and for humanity. This is the kind of, and he knew his rights. He was willing to, if he still lost the job, apart from fighting out, he was willing to look for another job. But he would not go down. If everybody was like that, the law will be thrown immediately. Immediately. You don't have to challenge it in court. If 2 million British Columbians tell the government, fuck off, that's it. Government will fuck off. Sorry for the French. I didn't want to lose my cool. But this is what is needed. Tell the government to fuck off. I don't need your scientists to give me lectures. I don't need your goddamn TV to say, oh, Bonnie Henry comes up every now and then. I can't even watch a YouTube video without Bonnie Henry coming. I don't want to see her, this woman's face, but she comes up, thank you, British Columbians, we are all in this together. You have to maintain social distancing and wear a mask to save the mankind and all. Bloody hell, somebody should boot her ass and throw her into the bloody Pacific Ocean. But I'm forced to see it because it has become, YouTube has made it automatic. It shows for 5-6 seconds, then whatever you want to watch, that thing comes on. It's bloody horrible. It's horrible. And everybody is taking it lightly. Why? So that's my first part. Second part was something else. Those of you who have the time might like to watch a different Facebook presence. I think it's a page or a group, I'm not very sure. It's called Winnipeg Alternative Media. It's from Manitoba, the province of Manitoba in Canada. It's a big town, Winnipeg. And they have several thousand followers. They go on live on Facebook, interviewing people. And they are a kind of a protest group. And it is run by a young man called Todd McDougall. Young man means compared to me, young man. He might still be in his 30s or something. So he has been following me around for a long time. And he contacted me some few days ago. The thing is, he had interviewed me some 6 years or something before at the University of Manitoba in Winnipeg, talking about pesticides in food and about food security. I had gone there to present a lecture, a talk before the many places. One of them was the University of Manitoba, along with a scientist, Thierry Brain. And this guy had called us to their studio. It was like a radio show studio. Those days there were radio shows there. There are all the equipment and the sound and all those fancy stuff. And we sat down there and talked about it. And he liked what I said. I was not talking as a scientist. I was talking as an activist. Why an activist must be an activist for government to function in a democratic manner. If the citizens stop being an activist, government will take democracy for a ride. So he liked whatever I had to say. I did not know how much he liked it, and he has been following me all this time. So now he contacted me and saying he's absolutely blown away seeing how I have changed track away from the pesticide, which is still bad, but focused on a much bigger problem that is raining down on us, and that is loss of freedom on a global scale. By an unelected group of super powerful individuals that are faceless. You can't even see them, and they want to control every politician born in every country on the planet, and they have already gotten them in their bloody pocket. So he's absolutely blown away when he saw me in Ottawa and talk and all that, and he wants to interview me live to this evening. 7:30 their time, that is Manitoba, I think the Central Time, which is 5:30 our time, British Columbia, Pacific Time, and maybe 8:30 Ottawa, the Eastern Time, the Ottawa or Toronto time, and their group, the group page on Facebook, which is how you find them, Winnipeg Alternative Media. And also Todd McDougall, who runs it. There will be some announcement of something going live. I am not very familiar with going live issues, so therefore I can only tell you that it will be there and you can just join the live. And he said that I will be invited not only to join but to participate as a person to be interviewed. And then my video feed, like what you're seeing now, will be somehow put side by side with his video feed from Winnipeg, and people will be able to see both. How this works, I really don't know, but he says it works, although Facebook is not the best platform for this, and sometimes it goofs up and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes they can only hear my voice, and other times they will be able to see me if things work out fine. He hopes that things will work out. He has done it many times and I have never done it, so I don't know any. But here's the thing, you might like to watch it. What kind of questions he will ask, I don't know. But I suspect he will ask what I've been doing and what I'm doing. And we will come to this issue of Canada losing her sovereignty and freedom at a breakneck speed extremely rapidly. Canada is sliding into a black hole on a permanent basis, and so is rest of the planet. As far as I can see, unless it is fought immediately on a war footing, the planet is gone. The freedom of the human race is probably gone for several centuries. I don't know when if it will ever come back. I don't know, and I cannot understand how people just sleep through it all as if they are sleepwalking, and gladly follow the TV and become obedient species of slaves. I don't know. We are actually changing the human Homo sapiens sapiens into two distinct races or two distinct sub-species. One of them, the master class, genetically superior to think independently and control the others, and the others, who will be the vast majority, to be genetically and psychologically, epigenetically, if you are into genetics, you probably understand that, converted into a subspecies which is called the obedient class. They will not be thinking that much about what is good and what is right and what is wrong, but they'll be obediently following, trusting that what they are told is the right thing for whoever, for them, for the planet, and all that. So we are first time getting into a long-term experiment of dividing human race, human species, into two subspecies, the master class and the servant class. And you are the servant class. Otherwise, you would not be even listening to me. You will be thinking how to kill this guy. So that I don't know whether that topic will come up. I don't know whether resisting the mask will come up. I'm initiating a tax revolt, whether that will come up. I don't know what will come up. But if you have time, you might like to listen to it. The guy's name is Todd McDougall. I spoke with him for the first time in 6 years. I did not know that he was following me around all this time. But I'm pleased that he did, and I'm pleased that he actually contacted me and on phone and requested me to join him in this interview. He's got a very tight schedule. He doesn't have spare time. His calendar is filled up, but he made a slot. I don't even know how long that slot is, whether it's half an hour or 15 minutes or 2 hours, no idea. And I didn't have time to ask also, because I'm also keeping busy here. I said, all right, I'll be there at 5:30 my time, 7:30 your time, and we'll see what happens. So that is my second part, but that's not so important. I am not so important. The planet is important. So if you all really care for what you are leaving behind for your children and your grandchildren, think carefully. Think very carefully. You don't have to believe what I said. Apply something between your ears that, evolution or God, if you like, gave you. That is something to be used, not just for following what you read in the books and what the TV tells you, but also to analyze what you're being taught or what you're being told, whether it jives, whether it makes complete sense, or makes sense only up to a point, and beyond that it does not make sense, something is wrong somewhere. That is how better ideas come forward, because people in the past have thought things through and disagreed with what was the established wisdom, knowledge, protocol, and they improved upon it because something did not jive and something was. That is how new science replaces old science. That is how new philosophy replaces old philosophy. That is how new doctrine replaces old doctrine. This is a continuum process for human evolution. This has been the law which is now being subverted. You don't think, you just obey. This, for the first time on a global planetary scale, there is not just treason by the political class, it is mass treason by millions of politicians across the planet are being converted into enablers for personal gain. They are like little warlords that support the main emperor or the main dictator on top. That is how the system works, and that is how the system, there is no more, the one world government basically means there is no government. There is no government of the people. There is a government of a faceless group that will hold absolute control over your life. Absolute. You cannot even most probably cash is going to disappear and become cashless, electronic, which they control. So if they don't like, you don't have any cash. Because physical cash you don't have, and whatever you have saved, that's taken away from you. You cannot buy anything because they don't like you. That's coming. That is coming. Everybody is being told, go to the bank and pull your cash. Pulling your cash is no use. That cash will become, that whatever cash, US dollars, Canadian dollar, blah, 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 all of that become illegal. So then you're back to square one. You start doing bartering. I give you one piece of chicken against that. Can you survive like that in big cities today? I know people survived like that 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago in rural areas. Can you survive today? No, you cannot. You don't have anything anybody wants to buy when system collapses. Whatever you have is worthless when the system collapses. Anyway, I'm done for now. So first thing first, please make the unmasking the mask issue a success in Vancouver if you're in this area, and in whichever area you're near Toronto, make that a huge, huge, huge success. I don't want Vancouver to be the biggest. It doesn't matter who is the biggest. If Toronto can pull in 2 million people, that would be fantastic. That would be super fantastic. Do that. But it won't happen automatically. You will have to try very, very hard. I already made a comment. I'm repeating it. I have a spare bedroom and I'm willing to billet. Preferably a friend, family, if I know and they jive well, but if not, I will make friends. Somebody who wants to join the protest against the mask. And you are free to contact me. I will be checking out in the next few days. 19th of July is still 10 days away, and I will try to do my bit and also drive them if they have a car. They most probably have a car because they will be coming by road, I suppose. And so should you all do. Please consider. Thank you for now. And I have a lot of these wave buttons. I'm pressing them. I don't know what they mean. But, and there's a whole lot of people watching. I can see a lot of people watching from India. And honestly, this is, how to say, I was born in India, but I cannot solve India's problem. People who are still Indian citizens have to solve their problems. If they think they're in a problem, they have to solve it. If they don't think they have any problem, then you're wasting your time listening to me. You can just go back whatever you're doing. My main aim for this live video is people who are Canadian and who understand that Canadian freedom is toast. Along with everybody else's freedom, it is toast. This is not a question of whether COVID-19 is a real flu or an unreal flu, whether it's more virulent than last year's flu or less virulent. No, this is about your freedom and COVID-19 being used as a pretext. No flu ever is going to finish off the human race. We have evolved. We and our ancestor species and its ancestor species and its ancestor species all the way back to 3.5 billion years have evolved to deal with viral flus, viruses and their infection. For 3.5 billion years, 3,500 million years, we are not going to get wiped out by a virus. Our body is full of viruses, if you don't know. We hold in our body trillions and trillions of viruses. You know how much is a trillion, right? That is 1,000 billion. That is 1,000,000 times 1,000,000 viruses. Majority of our genes are donated to us through bacteria and viruses. We evolved to our shape. We evolved into multicellular organisms because of bacteria and viruses. Viruses are not something we need to be afraid of. They are something that we live along with and those viruses made it possible for us to be us. Very, very few viruses are toxic or infective. Majority of them are helpful. Majority of them, we are the host, majority of them help, including bacteria, our gut bacteria, help us fight off pathogenic organisms that we might breathe or drink or something. We have an immune system to deal with it. Whoever has been taught in the medical sciences that our immune system cannot deal with novel viruses, this is the thing that they're being taught, and these guys are brainless, absolutely. Yes, we do not have an experience how to deal with new viruses, and guess what? New viruses are coming up by the millions every 15 minutes. You take a virus, and if you have the instrument good enough to watch it, every 15 minutes it reproduces and also it mutates. So after one day it is no more that, it is another kind of virus. This happens all the time among trillions and gazillions of viruses all the time. So we are being attacked, we are being exposed, we are coming into contact with billions and trillions of new versions of viruses every goddamn second of our life. What the hell is that? Yes, we don't know how to deal with it, and we learn how to deal with it. That is the philosophy of the immune system. That is why when you first time get a chicken pox as a baby, as a child, as a young kid, you get all the spots and so on. The body deals with it. It doesn't kill you. And next time, you have developed immunity if the doctors and the hospitals do not prevent your immune system from learning. If the doctors and the medical system prevent it by artificial pumping you with dose and this and that, then you don't learn, and then you remain vulnerable for the next attack. Best way to deal with viruses and infection is not to go to the doctor. Best way to prevent COVID-19 killing you is to throw the damn TV out of the window. But caution, please unplug it first and then throw it, otherwise you can have unpredictable consequences. I am 70 years old. I had my last vaccine at the age of 10 in India, that two only in my entire life. I have not had a vaccine for the last 60 years. Guess what? I have not had an infective disease in the last 60 years. I have not had even a flu, even for a day, in the last 60 years. And it's not because I'm locking myself up and staying under my bed. I have gone everywhere in the world. There is very few countries I have not been to. There are thousands of people I meet all the time. I just came from India about a year ago, and I was there for nearly 2 years, and I got called everywhere for speaking. Delhi, Bangalore, scores of small villages. There were hundreds, there were thousands of people who came to listen to me or join discussions or take me to their farms and take me what they're doing here and there. All villages, all kind of people. I met them all the time throughout all kinds of seasons. Winter, spring, summer, rainy season, everything. And I never got a flu. I have been to every town in Canada on invitation from volunteers to speak about glyphosate and pesticide and food. And the big towns, small towns, one-horse towns, half-horse towns, everywhere. I met everybody and I never got a flu. I did it in summer, I did it in dead of winter when outside temperature is minus 15, and I still did not get a flu. I don't need a goddamn Bonnie Henry or some son of a bitch scientist to tell me that I need a vaccine or I need this or I need that. I don't need anything. I only need my immune system to be left alone so it can do its work. I'm 70 years old. I'm past my guarantee period. It doesn't matter if I die. When you get too old, you die of something or the other. Some organ fails and you die. Sometimes you linger on for a while and then eventually everybody dies. But they don't write the certificate that he died of old age. They write something, he died of heart failure, died of this, died of that, kind of cancer, blah, blah, blah. Nowadays they're fudging the papers and saying died of bloody COVID-19 just to bring up the record that COVID-19 is dangerous. And in spite of that, the total deaths in Canada, total deaths, when you compare with previous year and previous year and previous year, is more or less same. In fact, a little bit less than last year. If COVID-19 is so dangerous and if people are dying from other diseases just the same as they were dying every year, then total deaths should be high. No, that's low. They're stealing death identification from this and that and all other and dumping it on COVID-19 to show that the deaths are high while all the other deaths are going down. I mean, today if you die, I jokingly say, today if you die from a coconut falling on your head, they would rather write you died from COVID because they get money for making that certification. If you die from slipping on a banana peel on the street, if the doctors can get away with it, they will record the death as COVID-19 death. So, this vaccine thing, everybody's saying vaccine. Why don't we tell Bill Gates and that Dr. Fauci and Bonnie Henry and Dr. Tam, make a vaccine, go ahead. Make a vaccine that prevents coconuts from falling on your head. Make a vaccine so that people don't slip on banana peels. That will be a good thing, go ahead. And then vaccinate the banana skins all over the place so they don't let people slip on them. Vaccinate the skin of all the coconuts so they will bypass the head and fall somewhere else. Do that. It's a good thing. You will have some experience of how to make novel vaccines. So anyway, I think I'm rambling, but this is my basic concept. I am willing to die a free man. I am not willing to live on as a trained pet dog with a leash here, the property of so-and-so, and say, sit, I sit. Stand up, I stand up. Go there, I go there. Put on a mask, I put on a mask. Lie down, I lie down. No, sorry. I am not willing to be that. Take care, guys. I'm done today.